it would be truly ironic if that act of, in my view, just completely indefensible, illogical, to be honest with you, attack on Doha, if that turns out to be the catalyst for getting the deal done.
Yeah, so let me agree and disagree with you. I agree with you, Piers, that it was indefensible, and it would be ironic if that leads to some kind of end to the fighting. It's not illogical, though, Piers. I just want your viewers to understand. If you are an expansionist Israeli government, you don't want peace with the Palestinians. You don't want peace with the Lebanese. You don't want peace in the region. You want to keep expanding. Piers, you may have seen Benjamin Netanyahu recently said in an interview, he supports the idea of a greater Israel, which is a crazy idea that some people used to say was a conspiracy theory on the Israeli far right. It was only mad people like Smotrich. The Prime Minister of Israel said recently in an interview he supports the idea of greater Israel, which means taking territory from Syria and Lebanon, maybe Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and creating a greater Israel, even bigger than they already have illegally. So it's not illogical from that point of view that you wouldn't want to do a peace deal. They always kill the negotiators. Piers, I came on your show after they bombed Iran, and I told you about Ali Shamkhani, who was the main nuclear negotiator, who was negotiating with the Americans. Trump had shared a tweet praising his position, and Israel targeted him. They thought they killed him. Actually, he survived. But they always target negotiators. They killed, last year, they killed Haniya in Tehran when he was leading the negotiations. They attacked, as you point out, in Doha, the Hamas negotiating team who were meeting to discuss negotiations. Go back to 2012. They killed a guy called Ahmed Jabari from Hamas who was in the middle of signing off on a permanent truce with Israel. They killed him. There's a long history of Israel undermining negotiations, ceasefires, truces. So it's not illogical because they don't actually want peace. And Netanyahu in DC, Piers, you saw last week when Trump announces this deal, he says it's a great day in history. It'll bring, classic hyperbole and bombast from Trump. Netanyahu goes and does a video in Hebrew and says, hey, we got to win here. We're not leaving the strip. And then the guy behind the camera says, what about statehood? He goes, there's nothing for statehood in this plan. You remember what they used to say about Arafat, Piers? That he says one thing in Arabic and another thing in English. Netanyahu's the master of that. He tells the Western media and Trump what they want to hear in English, and then he tells his right-wing base and his cabinet in Hebrew, yeah, we're not going anywhere. This is not a peace deal.